What's good, internet? My name is attackslug. Welcome back to Wrestling Empire on the Nintendo Switch on that fresh, new AAW deal, 20 weeks, creative control. We're doing it. All I need now is a title opportunity. But I will say, right now, as it is usually Moveset Monday, I went and looked. Even with my creative control, I can't change half of my moves. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. I'll try again for tomorrow, but here we are. So, we have Pyro, aka Bam Bam Bigelow, in a cage fight singles match. Can I escape the cage? The classic blue cage, and welcome you to a fine Monday here on the program. It's Bam Bam and Luna Vachon, who is the current, I guess, lightweight or whatever it is here in AEW Championship. On commentary, we have Vince, I think, and somebody else. I do not know, but we're here to do things for at least a couple days this week until the end of the week. We had the release of WrestleMania, so don't worry, that coverage coming as soon as that game is out to do coverage on. That's the plan. That's the plan. So we shall see how that plays out on the show this week. But right now, we have this game, as it is currently the game to play at the moment. So, let's find out what the Bammer here has to say. I'm not LT, but I'll give you a fight. I'll give you a fight here. What kind of name is attackslug? Were you born with it, or did you choose it? It's a Earthbound thing. It's a long story, Bammer. Do you think I got where I am today with a name like that? Give yourself a chance. I like the name. I'm stuck with the name. It's a branding thing. It doesn't matter what your name is. It's going to be history after this match. You're right. My name is going down in history as the guy that ended the career of Pyro. So, yeah. Okay. Bammer, I can't see. Let's fix our camera to even zoom in further so I can see this contest as it happens here in the solid steel cage. Good God, speaking of cages, speaking of solid steel, last night was the Elimination Chamber, and there are some things to discuss from what happened in the chamber last night. Good golly, there are. Now, can I escape the cage? I mean, not right now because I got hit off the thing, but could I, in theory, escape the cage here and be victorious in that manner? I don't know. So, the chamber. They pulled Keith Lee due to injury. Not being very particular there on what the injury is, but because of, alright, if Bam Bam is trying to escape, that means you can escape. That means I'm going to make short work here of the Bammer, if I can. The beast from the east, if you will. So, they pulled Keith Lee, right? Not at the show, not in the match with Lashley and Riddle. And the pre-show had a replacement match, a fatal four-way to qualify to be in that triple threat encounter because, as I said in my predictions, if it's triple threat, there's a good chance Lashley loses, but they don't want to have him get pinned, right? Which I understand, based on what happened later on in the show. Keep the Hurt business looking as strong as you possibly can makes a lot of sense, right? And that's what they did. So, the qualifier was Elias, Ali, Ricochet, and John Morrison. And number one, commentary saying that Elias is chasing his first championship. Did I win? Did I win? No, okay. Are there DQs? Alright, now I'm getting counted out. So why was Pyro trying to escape the cage if you can't win in that fashion? I am so confused. If I can come back in this cage here, I'm going to get counted out. Jump in! Sure. Hit the ref. Alright, whatever. Now, are there DQs here in this cage match? Also, a question. So, commentary saying that Elias is chasing his first championship when he's been 24/7 champion 4 times. 4 times. And if you're going to have WWE make it a big deal that Bad Bunny was on SNL with that 24/7 title, then at least acknowledge that Elias was the champion 4 times. Like, bruh. Either it counts or it don't. Figure one out. Seriously. So, either way, John Morrison won that match. Now, I have further complaints with Ali and his crew, and Ali got pinned here in that match by John Morrison as his crew was distracted with the Ricochet, which is fine. But, look, either they're going to be a threat or you're going to follow through on a story or you're not, and later on, they didn't. So, that's kind of what they do, and that's what it is. But I think more importantly, you had enough pull here, and it was important enough to replace Keith Lee because you didn't want to have Lashley get pinned or tapped out by Riddle, and I understand that, right? But you also had to replace Lacey Evans, and they mentioned it on the pre-show, and then totally didn't do anything with Lacey and Asuka on the main show at all. Literally, just, it was memory hold. It was gone. Vanished. Bye-bye. Slug stomp. Pinfall. No, it's, alright, it's a shoot fight. It's a shoot fight. Didn't know that. Wasn't sure. Dragon suplex. So, I'm shoot fighting here against the Bammer. Whatever. So, yes. Asuka did not defend, was not on the main show at all. Like, period. Full stop. No mention of Asuka outside of that. Outside of the pre-show, there was zero mention of Asuka in defending her Raw Women's title, which, as a reminder, on pay-per-view has not been defended since September. Right? Obviously, on Raw, she had that match with Alexa Bliss, but on pay-per-view hasn't been on there since September. It is currently February. What the hell is happening with the Empress, right? You could have put in Peyton Royce there and had Peyton get a nice good match there and built her up a little bit, but no, you didn't even do that. You just dropped it entirely, so that's baffling. But you had to replace Keith Lee so you wouldn't pin Lashley, so you wouldn't mess up your main event later on in the evening. So yes, we have a new U.S. champion. It is Matt Riddle pinning John Morrison. So yeah, that happened. And Lashley got taken out of that match with a crutch. So, you know, that was what it was. And it did its job, it did its business. And that was fine. And I expected him to lose in that triple threat match. That makes sense if you're going to move him into a more prominent main event type role for the CEO of the Hurt Business. I get it. It makes sense. Also, Bam Bam, double tough. Alright, this is New Jersey versus New Jersey. Right? Double tough is the Bammer. So, the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, which was for the right to fight Roman Reigns, the head of the table. And man, I kind of at this point miss Cole screaming the big dog, because now him having to scream the head of the table, it's just not quite the same ring to it. Not quite the same oomph to it as it's the big dog. So, you know, there's that. But the winner of that match, and as soon as they started having to work the leg and playing up the potential leg injury of Bryan in that match, as soon as that happened during the match, I was like, oh, Bryan's gonna win that. Because you, otherwise, when you know they're fighting later on in the evening, you don't play up an injury, right? So as soon as they played it up as an injury, alright, he's fighting Roman later on. But spoiler, it wasn't later on. They had it immediately after because Roman's a heel. That is a total heel maneuver. You fought for a half an hour in the chamber. Guess what? You're fighting me right now, D-Bry. All American Wrestling have risen since Goldust became their world champion. Give me a shot. How is he enhancement talent and also the champion? Confusing. Axe and Cameron Cool are in a rivalry. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Kofi Kingston. Gruesome Sharon. Luna Vachon has turned face. Naito has left All American Wrestling to go to Wrestling Rev. And he's ducking me, man. Ducking me. Daniel Bryan defeated Cody to be the new TV champion of Strong Style Wrestling. Jumbo got released by Rising Sun. Misawa is glad that Jumbo has left. Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart defeated Natalya and Bob Backlund, I believe. So the Anvil beats his own daughter. Not cool. Attack Slug and Marty, that Furniture Smash match has been canceled. But why? Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Become a face. Sure. I could do that, Vince. You're the boss. Turn me face. Alright, let's do that. The fans will appreciate it. I mean, I guess you don't want a lethal dose of poison. Why am I fighting Bam again? Why? Bammer, I beat you. And I'll beat you again. Can I change my moves now? I can. Alright, so tomorrow we'll have Moveset Tuesday, because what the hell. So I will say that Daniel Bryan is the king of the hope spot. Because even having been in the chamber for a half an hour, when Roman came in for that spear, got turned into the yes lock, and for a second there, you believed, oh man, he might do this. It might actually happen. He might beat him for that, and no. Nope. That was not the case. Roman Reigns, still the head of the table, the tribal chief, acknowledge him, and is still your Universal Champion. But Edge came in and speared him out of nowhere and pointed at the Mania sign. There was Pyro. Alright, here we go. I'm out here to turn face. We know how this goes, right? So, clearly, Edge, I've been a jerk. I'm sorry. Edge pointed at the sign. There was Pyro, which means that Edge and Roman is official for WrestleMania. So, what does that mean for the big dog for Fastlane? Who knows? We still have one more show in between now and Mania. So, we'll see. But he pointed at the sign. Are we done with this life-changing crap? The only drama that matters is in this ring. Thanks, Bammer. Hey, Luna, relax. Relax. She's vicious, man. Like, the daughter of Mad Dog. You don't mess with her. Seriously. So, we now know it will be the Edgester facing the Roman. It will be Spear versus Spear at WrestleMania. So, beyond that, we had the fact that it was Nia and Shayna defending those tag team titles against Bianca and Sasha Banks. And as I said, it was going to be a interference there from Reginald that costs those two that shot at the tag team titles. And it was, right? But what I did not think would happen was that we totally had Sasha getting pinned clean in the middle. I'm like, why not a DQ? A count out. Why getting pinned? She's the champion. Getting pinned this close to Mania is kind of not the best booking in the world. But that's what they did. So that was that. Now, the other chamber match here. Whoa, referee, out of the way. Heenan. The other chamber match here, right, was a bit less predictable, I feel like. Or at least they did some stuff here that was definitely unusual and I was confused by it. Or at least what I thought might happen in their booking was a little bit confusing, right? So, number one, they didn't do anything with Kofi and Ali at all. Like, nothing. Now, Kofi did look behind him as he came down the ramp. And that, you could say, hey man, Edge was in the building. And last time it was Edge who totally stole the spot from Kofi. Like, back in 09, I think it was, right? But this time, he should have been fearful of Ali. And yes, at least he turned around and looked to make sure no one was going to steal his spot. And that is continuity. Now, imagine if they actually acknowledged that on commentary in any way, which they totally did not. It was up to Kofi to get that thing and make it look like it was actually something, whereas nobody else in the company did. Like, there was no Ali or anything trying to steal his spot, as they at least should have tried to have something there. So much for that kind of long-term booking. Like, what was the point of having Xavier Woods fight them every single freaking week for 4 weeks, and to not actually do anything with that at the whole, hey, here's Kofi, and Ali's mad at Kofi, so why? That's all I'm saying. Why? Like, even if they failed, they should have at least made the attempt to finish up that particular storyline, because otherwise, what the hell is the point? Now, Randy Orton, you would have thought The Fiend, you would have thought Alexa, you would have thought something with that particular angle, and you thought wrong, because there was none of that. There was zero of that. There was Randy Orton getting pinned by Kofi in a roll-up, And that was the end. That was it for Randy Orton in that match. Like, what? Huh? Crazy. Crazy. Where are you going? I wanted to put him on the top to give him a superplex. And now I can't do that because he's recovered. And I keep trying. This is why 2K has a button for that. No Fiend, nothing. Randy Orton, a roll up. He's done. Okay? I mean, okay. Whatever. Now, AJ Styles had a very unusual entrance here. Because Omos literally broke the back of the pod. Tore it off. Like Kane style. Just ripped it off. And AJ entered out of, like, just to do it. Right? And that was weird, but cool. Like, that spot was definitely, I did not think that would happen, and that was awesome. Right? So, kudos on that spot being thought up. Slug stomp. Bammer. You're done. Referee. Distracted. Luna Vachon. Paying dividends. How? First of all, camera. I need to see Luna having her, you know, distractions here, cause it's bull. Powerbomb. What the hell? How? Now, in this match, McIntyre indeed retained his WWE title and was the sole survivor of the Chamber. He did that. He is still the champion, or was still the champion, because here comes Bobby Lashley. Now, earlier on in the evening, we saw, but didn't hear, a backstage conversation with Miz and MVP. And it's like, oh. But there was also backstage slap from Bad Bunny to The Miz. Oh. Huh. Right? And so Lashley comes out, and at that point you're, alright, it's going to be Lashley and Drew at Mania. That's one of your big matches you could book for that show. Alright, cool. And then Miz cashed in front of a virtual crowd again. You gave Miz back his Money in the Bank to cash in front of 0 real fans again, when you have real fans happening for 2 nights in April. Why? Why? So now, Miz, 10 years later, is WWE Champion once again. I'm not mad at that, right? Because my idea would have been for Bryan to beat Roman at Mania and then have Miz cash in on Bryan and win at Mania with fans in the building to boo the cash-in. That's the whole point. They didn't do that, right? Fine. So now, in my eyes, Fastlane looks like Miz versus Lashley. Lashley, the new champion going into Mania. And Drew versus Sheamus. Drew wins. And then Drew has to fight through the Hurt Business to get to Lashley at Mania as challenger again. But they could swerve us. With Lashley as champion and fans in the building, what if Brock wanted a shot at Lashley? What if that happened? It could. What if Vince is blinded by the merch money of Bad Bunny and wants Bad Bunny challenging Miz for the WWE title at Mania? I'm not saying that could happen, but it could happen. AAW ratings are down. Wide Tide has left AAW. Aftershock is sad that Wide Tide has left. Becky Lane is face. Bayley has left Super Lucha Libre for Strong Style. Rising Sun is the top and most popular brand of wrestling. So last night certainly shook up the landscape heading towards WrestleMania, and the fallout on Raw should be interesting to watch tonight. We'll see. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. See you next time. And I'm out.